Hi, today I want to talk about a subplot that we see in Parashat Chayei, which we're going to read this Shabbat, that really focuses on Yitzchak, who is not the main topic of Chayei, which talks about the death of Sarah and Abraham burying her, Eliezer going to bring Rivka to Yitzchak, and ultimately Abraham's death. But within that, Yitzchak is actually a very important player in this narrative. And up until now, that the way that the Torah paints Yitzchak, in a way, it's a very passive player. That last week he was brought up by Abraham to the Akedah, and he was just brought there. He wasn't engaged so much actively in it. Or this week we have Eliezer going to bring Rivka to him. Things are happening to him. People are acting for him. But he's not so much an active player in all that. But I think something that's really important that is written into this parsha is a midrash that talks about how Yitzchak, after Sarah dies, brings Keturah, who is also identified as Hagar, the person who is the mother of Ishmael, and who was sent away by Sarah when Yitzchak was just a kid. And he brings her back to Abraham, and they get married again. And here we see Yitzchak acting in a very different role. He's acting as a force of reconciliation. He's active. He is controlling the narrative. And later, after Abraham dies, we see him and Ishmael come back together after an estrangement of many, many years. And that's a two-way street. He worked together with Ishmael to mend that relationship. So I think that we see here a really profound change in his character, and one that's subtle, and also one that's not permanent. That next week we see him really regressing into this role of being passive, into this role of dividing. That he is blind, he is picking favorites, he's being tricked and manipulated. This isn't the role that we see popping up here. And I think the lesson here is that we can't be complacent with who we are and who we come to be. That our ability to change who we are and the role that we play in the world and the role that we play with other people is not just a one-way direction. We can't just get better, and at the same time, we can't just get worse. Yitzchak changes for the better and for the worse. He ebbs and flows. And I think that's a really important lesson for us, that we want to ebb. We want to get better. We want to say, I know what role I play now, and I know how I can be better. I know how I can make myself a more active force of reconciliation, someone who does good in the world. And I can see this other path where I go back to my old ways. So I think that this is really a lesson for us to take charge in who we are and to take charge in the role that we play between ourselves and the people around us.